Okay, so it's happened to me again. I have to continue this outside. Hopefully, it's not too breezy and too windy, and I can finish my uh, case study. So, I was sharing with you about the 71-year-old lady who had bilateral plantar fascia. And you have to forgive me if I'm repeating because I've had a significant delay in time because of technical difficulty. And I tried to record this several times and it kept getting cut off and I kept trying to remove memory and it was never enough. So I spent a lot of time trying to figure this out. Anyway, so my I guess what I was saying at the end of the last part was about the calf muscles. You want to make sure that you are stretching out your calf muscles properly and you are making sure you don't have any trigger points or tight spots or sore spots in the muscles. And I don't know if I mentioned it before, but the first time I know I did say that I didn't touch her feet or anything the first time I saw her. I was just trying to make sure she got the education of doing things that were going to push her forward more quickly. But then I did look at her calves and there were some areas of tightness. And so understand that plantar fasciitis is definitely associated with calf muscle tightness and with intrinsic weaknesses of the foot muscles. So, if you are experiencing plantar fasciitis and it has been a while, you might be very, very, very sensitive. I'm going to encourage you to do what I instructed this lady to do as your starter. And I will look at putting some information that you can uh, ask for so that you can know how to kind of get started with the things that I told her about. I'll put a link in there about the Toe Pro. And then the other thing is that if you are in a lot of pain with your plantar fascia, I do, and what I did with her is um, because she had some tightness in her calves, and I knew they were going to be pretty tender. And so I did some soft tissue work with her calves, and I did use my DePain salve, which is excellent for dealing with trigger points. Trigger points are very, very hard, ropey, nodule type pieces of muscle and combined with some fascial changes. And they need to be desensitized, they need to be released. They don't, from what I've seen, they don't ever get 100% released. But if they're creating exquisite pain when you touch them or you strum across them, they need to be addressed until they do not do that at all. And loosening it up beyond that would be even more helpful. So I find using the pain salve is a great way of calming things down at the trigger points in the calf. You may find that if your problem has gotten very, very chronic and has been going on longer than this lady's has, and or you have had recurrent problems with plantar fasciitis, then you need to visit what it is I talked to you already about doing. But then I would say that your tissue itself needs help with healing. And the way I designed the products is to calm down the inflammation and pain, but also to help with things to remodel and to get nourished so they heal. So typically, it's good to work from the calf muscle, go all the way down your Achilles, go to the base, of the heel itself, and just make sure all that feels good to your touch. And then you can also look at the fascial tissue at the bottom of the foot. You can apply these products to all of those places, and the massaging is beneficial to your tissue recovering and repairing itself. I also like to use an infrared, and I use an infrared wand on people, and it's a spot treatment. So it's not I have a larger unit, but this is a spot treatment that you can, locally place, in smaller areas. So you might find that combining a nourishing ointment and salve and oil with the heat will create some healing as well. So again, if this doesn't make complete sense and I've missed something, please just let me know in the comments. Um, I'm still working with this technology. So just trying to get the information out there, trying to give you some hope and to realize it is not the end of all things if you cannot seem to get your plantar fasciitis under control. Yes, there's other factors that need to be looked at, but these are some of the basic things to get you started with. And also, I will say, if you do have a heel spur, there will be some additional things that you will have to do. And forgive me if I'm repeating myself, but we would have to address the over calcification problem that you're having, because that is indicating that there's a problem coming from the inside of your system of your body, and we can address that internally and externally, but it has to be addressed, or that's going to be a persistent problem. I advise against any kind of surgery, because truthfully, if you don't correct why it got there in the first place, you're going to have some spurring develop again anyway. So let's take care of it the right way.